Yes, I'm Kristine Kelly. I'm a longevity chef and nutrition expert. I'm also a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and I've studied herbalism as well. So I really look at nutrition as a whole in terms of the mind, the mental health, the emotional health, spiritual health, and the physical health. So it all ties in with the food as well. So that's me. I'm based in St. Bart's.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Well, today we have lots of interesting questions to explore. So, and one of them only on our podcast, first time publicly sharing. So, Kristine will share her struggle with gut health. So, Kristine, could you tell us, like your personal story?
Sure, I would love to. So, my personal story, I would say when I was in my early teens, about age 14, I struggled with eating disorder, trying to fit in. It was anorexia, so that really messed with the balance of my hormones, and so that was really like the root cause of digestion issues that I experienced later in my early 40s. And it took working with different functional medicine doctors to really determine that that was like the root cause. And so eating disorders, even when you're at that age, it can really affect things later in life with the development of your hormonal balance, your microbiome. And so I also was experiencing chronic constipation and cumulative bloating. And at first I thought it might be SIBO or some sort of dysbiosis. And then I learned that I also have pancreatic enzyme dysfunction.
Mhm.
Uh, so I was also having experiences of insomnia, probably starting around pregnancy, but then even after my son's 8 and I was still experiencing insomnia. So I thought that's not normal. I really tried to work with food, and you often hear in mainstream media, oh, well, constipation, things like that, just eat more fiber, load up on the fiber. And I'm trained as a plant-based chef, and so naturally I know how to make so many different dishes with the plant-based as a foundation. And even with that, it was actually making things worse. So I after working with many different practitioners and functional medicine experts, I learned in traditional Chinese medicine, I would say that, it's really about strengthening and stimulating the vagus nerve, because that's really what connects the brain with the body. You know, it's it it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and so the rest and digest, that's so important. So when the sympathetic nervous system is overactive, that flight or flight stress response, if our ability to cope with stress, it's not balanced, it can really affect and manifest different symptoms in the body. So long story short, it's really like emotional and different thoughts that were stagnant in the body, and then it resulted in like constipation and things like that. So it took just doing different types of body work and experimenting with different modalities to really see what that was is the root cause.
That's amazing. So basically, everything what we experienced in our body, like bloating, constipation, it if the person doesn't eat healthy, obviously it could be the problem with that. But like if person relatively healthy, but still experiencing those symptoms, it's all comes from the emotions, because our body store the emotion and it needs to like go somewhere. So you said that you start using some body work, meditation. Like, did you start using all of it at once, or you just kind of experiment with meditation, then you did the breath work? What else did you do? Like, what you can recommend to our listeners who might relate to your story?
So when it comes to digestive issues specifically, it's really bio-individual because, like you said, somebody could be eating a really great diet, or someone maybe doesn't have as balanced of a diet and they could experience similar issues. So sometimes it's diet related, but sometimes it could be a combination,
Mm-hmm.
diet and emotional imbalance. So I would say the first thing I started with was meditation, and there's an app called the Nerva app. It actually is a specific one for the digestive issue, like if you have SIBO or leaky gut. It's almost like a hypnosis actually,
Oh
it
wow.
for meditation, and it's very beautiful visualizations that they give you. So if you are experiencing constipation or something like that, it actually helps with the process. So I found that to be really therapeutic. It was something that my functional medicine doctor mentioned, and I'm sure there's other apps similar, but that one was just it helped, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with meditation. Like it's very
Mm-hmm.
specific because it does target that area.
And it's called Nerve app.
Nerva, Nerva. Yeah.
Nerva app. Interesting.
And,
Very, very interesting. Well, thank you so much. Um,
and
why? I mean, you kind of like covered like one of our questions that why mainstream health advice like eat more fiber didn't work. But and another, like question we wanted to cover is functional medicine insights. We see the true transformation you found in nature. And if you can share something about that, and if we can touch the mushrooms. I remember we also spoke about this a little bit as well.
yes, so as far, just to answer your question, as far as yes, functional medicine insights versus transformation that I found in nature specifically, I took some solo trips just where it was just myself in nature without distractions. So I basically went off the grid, and but not completely alone. I had like a mushroom expert or an herbalist with me, so that I had a guide with me. And I also hired different body workers in the experience. So I experimented with Qi Sung, which is a type of stomach massage used in traditional Chinese medicine. And I would say out of all the different types of body work, that was the most effective because it was specific. It's an entire hour or 90 minutes dedicated to the stomach. And that
Uh,
really helps just to release any stress, anything that's stagnant there. Uh, and then
what's the name
also,
of it?
so it's Chi Sung, so it's CHINEI Sung TSANG.
Very interesting.
It's taught by Mantak Chia. If you just wanted to read up on it more, and so yeah, I would say between that and just various types of body work, like Zen Tai body work, Tantra, gua sha body scraping, that can be really effective because your body, it'll turn red in the different meridians that are out of balance, and so that it just helps to know, okay, maybe the spleen or the kidney meridian, which is really your chi, your life force energy, in a marker for longevity in traditional Chinese medicine. It shows what areas to focus on. And then as far as medicinal mushrooms, that's something I discovered being in nature. Uh, so like with the reishi and the chaga, for example, those are like the king and queen in traditional Chinese medicine for medicinal mushrooms. Reishi is the queen, chaga is the king. So reishi is really the mushroom of immortality, spiritual immortality. It's referred to that in TCM. And so with good reason, I mean, they're really stress modulators. So it really adapts to each person's bio-individual stress. So I, I mean, I like to use whole wild harvested mushrooms, and you can also buy them like sliced up. So they're dried and sliced up. And You really just put like a few slices in a tea. Yes, you can buy the powders. I've tried those, but I find that just the actual slices in the whole body form is more effective because you can just make a tea. It takes about 15 minutes to boil it in hot water, spring water ideally, and then just to really extract the potency. And you can use that tea for culinary too. So, like whatever you're using in cooking that you would use water for, like if you're making quinoa or any grain, anything that you would use a liquid in, you would use that in place of it. So,